Hello. Trading is closed on April 21st, 2022. We'll do our disclaimer, go over our calls, make some predictions. It's my trading plan for tomorrow, Friday, April 22, 2022. Remember, I can be wrong. Any trade one makes should be at one's own risk. If you find the channel helpful, please tell your friends. I'd like to get more viewers. I've had a number of people who ordered the webinar recently, and I need to know where to send the webinar. If you just reply on the reply part of the YouTube channel, I don't have your email address, I won't know how to send it. If you don't want to put your email address out in cyberspace, this is mine, and you can just email me requests along with your email address there. Let's go over our calls. We expected a pattern with the early high, said it tended to be a negative day with a low in the final hour. So we got that, and tomorrow's pattern should also have the early high. We didn't make a directional call, which turned out to have been fortunate because whether I said we trade higher or said we trade lower, you could argue I was right or you could argue I was wrong. We did have a few targets. We had a target 44.85.44, and that printed support resistance at the target. Had another target 44.31.73, that printed support resistance at the target. We came close to our target from April 8th. We didn't print, and that number is resistance. And we generated a new target from today's patterns, 44.33.17. And unless we gap down smartly, that's my call for tomorrow. Well, the only call we really got today was that this move was false. And now MEJT says this drop is false. We're going to return to this line. We came close. There's resistance at the line. But when you've already come close once, you can't expect resistance to be there. So if this works, the normal resistance might not be there. And that's a word of caution to anyone who's still short. Now, of course, it doesn't have to work. We're in an impulsive move. That's when these things have a greater likelihood of failing, but that's what the rule says. Here's where we are in our count. We have us topping out here. We have us in A and then B, and we have us in wave gray C down. Just another way of looking at it. This wave doesn't look complete to me, which doesn't mean we have to drop in a straight line, and doesn't even mean we have to drop tomorrow. Well, here's our 15-minute chart. We had this drop all day long, and this line is the close, and despite this big drop, you'll see that prior lows have held. So until they break, this is just staying within the consolidation and hasn't accomplished anything of importance. Now, that might all change tomorrow. I don't know where we're going to open tomorrow. We could open way down here and just collapse for all I know. I don't have anything against it. Don't forget, this pattern we had 2 days ago is what I called my coup de grace pattern. Even though it was early in the move, I said I'd never seen it other than at the end of moves. We've had 2 days trade since then, and we still haven't had a higher close, have we? I don't think so. Maybe yesterday was. Whatever it was, no, I think yesterday was negative too. So whatever it was, I've only seen this pattern at or near the end of moves. Intraday, that's a bit higher than I've seen before, but as far as marking the end of the move on a closing basis, seems to be working. So even if we do get a recovery, I'm not convinced it's going to last. Well, tomorrow's pattern has a really high. We could still gap down. There's a higher MEJT target. Unless we gap down sharply, the rules favor printing. Today's unrelenting decline couldn't undercut prior lows of the current consolidation. The low of day was a fib target of a prior consolidation. I don't think I showed that. This is the prior consolidation. It's 38.2. The low is there at 100. It's also a confluence of time and price targets based on someone else's work. So if we bounce from here, I can explain it. But these are not bad, but they don't work every time. It's just one of the logical places for this particular leg to end. If today's low holds, that's not a given. But if it holds, the odds favor the MEJT target printing tomorrow. Hitting this higher target doesn't assure that we close higher, as this drop is clearly impulsive. Remember, these targets are more likely to fail during impulsive moves. And the coup de grace pattern I described earlier this week seems to be working, as we haven't had a higher close since that printed. Kind of an amazing thing, because this looks bullish, but it's actually a terminal pattern, according to my experience. So tomorrow has the really high. We do have a higher target, 44.33.17. There's a reasonable chance this low holds and we hit the target, but that doesn't mean this decline's over, even if that prints and even if we don't trade down tomorrow. And that is today's call.